Hey, what's up, y'all? It's TheTacticalRedneck, and today I'm joined with Aurora and BK, and BK is one of our fellow FCB server admins, and we're going to be talking about our squad wish list. As you all know, squad comes out soon, and I will have some gameplay up hopefully by this weekend or next week as pre-alpha starts this weekend. So keep an eye out for that, and without further ado, I'll let BK bring up the first topic.
Well, I mean, squad wish list.
A lot to wish for.
Yeah, a lot. I mean,
all right. Well,
I don't know really where to start.
I'll ask you, what is your biggest pet peeve about being an admin and issues within servers? Because I believe we're gonna have private servers.
Well, yeah, like, of course, this won't be an issue with squad, but with PR, you know, it's an old game. It's a mod of an old game essentially. It's got a lot of bugs, a lot of issues, a lot of not very convenient ways of doing things, and it can cause issues within the server, like bugs and glitches that will essentially break the server and have to, you know, cause restarting. Of course, squad won't have this. Hopefully, it shouldn't. So, I mean, just better admin tools, essentially, you know, being able to work better with, you know, the tools given instead of just the way PR works. It doesn't really work well.
Right, because the game engine's outdated.
Yeah, it's a very outdated old game, and it's a mod, so a lot of things go wrong all the time.
Right.
Vehicle physics.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be looked into, for sure. Cause
my biggest issue, PR, was the vehicle physics. It was always that, because I'm primarily a vehicle driver. I can play infantry, but I prefer vehicles.
Oh,
you put me in a tank and give me proper infantry cover, and I'm happy as can be.
I think the tank physics were really well done, I believe.
Except for when they started sliding around.
Yeah.
That was my big issue, is how they would start sliding around. It would screw up your gunnery, and it would make it easy for the guy in the other tank to shoot you.
Right.
I think with armor, like, I really want a realistic, like, armor and, like,
That's
armor
what they're
health
doing.
model.
I've actually
that'd be
they
really
say they're
nice.
doing that. They're even doing, you know, War Thunder with their modules, the tank modules and everything. They're doing it like that too.
Really?
Yep, they are. They're going to have it where you can actually shoot the engine, and you know the engine will be dead, but not the rest of it.
Right.
Like a dynamic vehicle destruction system where you can, like, shoot off, armor plates potentially, depending on the type of tank, or, you know, disable the main gun, but say you'd still be able to go around. And
as far as I know, they're doing that.
Right. So, anything other besides, well, vehicles? I think one thing I definitely want to see is improved bullet physics, which I know they've already done. They've got tracers and stuff.
Baby. Of course, they said they're gonna add bullet drop and all that
bullet
good
drop.
stuff.
I want that
Real
deviation shit gone, because deviation's not fucking real. I mean, you have deviation in your breathing patterns as a person, and from my experience of hunting and shooting guns at long range, trying to hit a small target, like you think a deer, and it's kind of a stupid comparison, but you think about it, yeah, sure, it's a little bit bigger than a human, but in terms of still trying to hit that target in that one specific area, it's not easy. And when you're breathing, you're holding a heavy gun, and you're not resting on anything, it's it's a lot more challenging to hit something like that than what you think. And
your gun is waving all over the place. It's very hard to hit.
Oh, it is. When you're looking 200-300 yards away in a scope.
Hey, they got off the boat.
I mean, you think, okay, well, it wouldn't be that hard because you've got a scope, but you know, just that one breath can make an inch, 2, 3, 4 inches of a difference in the shot placement, and that's something that I really hope they focus on. Then that'd be really nice, I think.
I also think it needs a balance, right? So, like, they can do it, you know, superb realism, right?
Yeah.
To where, you know, if you look down your, you know,
hey, need that boat blowed up.
M4 with, you know, your 4x ACOG, whatever it may be.
Right.
You know, you're like, real life, you're gonna have a good amount of, like, you're gonna have a good amount of wobble in there, even like when you're, like, you know, it's like steadying yourself.
Yeah, but you don't want to overdo it because it's a game.
Like, it can't be like superb realistic to where it's like all over the place. You know, say you just sprinted, you know, a good 300 meters. You come up and shoot. You know, it needs to be like a good balance. So it needs to be you need to be able to shoot people effectively,
right? And
everything, but it shouldn't be to where, like, oh, you know, Call of Duty, bring up my gun, hit a target, run around, hit a target. You know, instant. You know, just being able to bullet hose people down.
Well, I don't know. There's a good argument to that there. sure, it's not...
I know it's not a comparable game, but the way, like, the mechanics work, of course.
Right, but you look at something like, you look at something like COD. Well, essentially, they do have it kind of down. I mean, there's a little bit of variation where the bullets go, or the bullet patterns, when you fire the guns. But at the same time, for the most part, when you're aiming down sights and you shoot at something, that's exactly where the bullet goes. And if you look at other games like Insurgency, they've done that extremely well. That's, I mean, when you're aiming a gun in real life, the bullet's going to go exactly where you put that crosshair.
Well, unless you've been firing for literally hours and the barrel's actually bending from the heat.
Well, you know what I mean. But,
yes.
you know, your bullet's not... And this is actually a problem in the mod, where you have to wait, what, 5 to 6 seconds or more to actually have your bullet go?
Yeah,
where the crosshair is?
Like, deviation caused, you know, random bullet trajectory, which isn't, you know, authentic or realistic in any means. But it's also because of the limitations of the engine. It was just easier to do that. So.
But now they're doing it with Unreal 4, which means that the sky's the limit, really.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, hopefully.
I hope that I hope to see. Well, we get fast ropes, so that's a plus.
I really hope 3D scopes are a thing, because that's one thing I did like about Insurgency, even though I didn't like the game itself, really, was that the scopes are 3D.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that. I hope they get red dots and shit down.
The one thing that I have to disagree with a lot of people on is I honestly prefer non-3D scopes.
Well, everybody has their preferences. I'm not going to bash you for preferring non-3D scopes.
You know, if you like a 3D scope, you know, that's perfectly fine. Just with my experiences, like with Insurgency, with Red Orchestra, like, and then I saw, you know, like I saw the gameplay of, you know, the early 3D scopes for Squad. I just don't think they work well, personally.
Right.
That's just me. And like trying to use them is a lot different than, say, using like a just, you know, a full, like, you know, say even ACOG, right, 4 times, you know, full 4 times, you know, screen with, you know, blur around the edges, like PR does it. I like that. I think it works well. It's, you know, it's not, you know, wreck your frames. It works. And I think that's...
You were talking about ACOGs for a second. I just wanted to make a quick note of those. I think that you should be able to remove scopes at will and then put them back on if your kit comes equipped with them, so you can actually take them off if you're going into CQC.
Yeah, the problem with that, though, is the fact that you actually have to have tools to do that, and it's time. You can't just... you can't just...
Oh, I thought they were quick release or something like that.
Well,
never mind then.
They can be...
With that type of stuff, I'm pretty sure they've already stated that they won't do, you know, quick detach scopes.
Never mind then.
99% sure they said they didn't want to do that.
Goof.
Yeah, well, they can do that, but at the same time, and this is kind of stupid me bringing up the fact that I have experience with these kinds of sights by playing Airsoft, which is, actually, you can use the real sights on most of the guns now, and they do require Allen keys and stuff to take off, and they just slide right off, so.
Like, they do have quick detach, like, release mounts and everything.
Yeah.
And, like, higher end, like, in real life, like, higher end ones, you know, the more expensive, better ones, they'll retain your zero. But the cheaper ones, they won't.
No.
Now, in the sense of, like, a military ACOG, you know, that the U.S. Marines would use or the Army would use,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure they retain it and everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's an idea then. I hate to interrupt, but here's an idea then. Make it so that you can just aim down like the sight of your rifle. I know it's not proper.
That's what I would want. Okay, so there's a I know in Arma 3, I don't know if it's a mod for it. I haven't played the game thus far. There's some setting or some mod or whatever that, like, you can actually look down the top of, like, your ACOG, even though it doesn't have iron, you know, backup iron sights or a little backup red dot.
That's
you can
what
look down it. Of course, it's not going to be very precise.
Well, the idea is that you're able to do it when you're going CQC or something like that, so that you don't have to be accurate. You can just see what's around you, so you have peripheral vision.
I like that idea. Like,
that would be good.
Yeah,
that would be really good.
I do want that. I think that would be a nice addition. But of course, backup sights, like, PR had it to where basically you have to, like, bring out your sight, you know, press a button, then bring it back in to, like, switch to your backup sights. I don't want that, you know. It needs to be flawless, you know, switching up from, you know, between, kind of like how actually, does Insurgency have backup sights? I'm not.
No, I don't believe they do.
No. I know Red Orchestra does, and they do it kind of a seamless transition, which is nice.
Red Orchestra is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. I think another thing I would definitely want to see is different implementations of how CAS works, because generally now it's just now you just hear about them mostly, and honestly, like they just mainly focus on anti-air and vehicle assets, but you don't really. In my year of experience playing Project Reality, which has been a great year, I've never once had the actual experience of radioing CAS and telling them that I need to hit them to hit a specific
and then having
grid
the radio
reference
or
and hit
chatter over the radio.
Yeah, I've never actually had to come over the radio and tell them I need you to hit here, get these infantry, and watch for smoke.
Chatter,
I've never had.
I think they really need to add a radio man class, so you have a specific radio man in the squad.
Well, no, that's 1960s shit.
Yeah.
Oh, really? All right,
yeah,
never mind then.
Everyone's got radios now.
This is me, the ignorant one, talking here.
Yeah, that's all fine. You know, like if you
I'm that special little child that everybody, kind of listens to in case he actually says something smart, but then I say mostly stupid things and I get proven wrong.
Yeah, it's
all right.
I don't know. Like, just CAS to me has never really been useful, and it could be because I just recently, as you know, BK tried flying out planes and helicopters and whatnot, and the jets have so much potential, even in the mod, that it's ridiculous. Like, they have the potential to be very good anti-infantry assets, but they're not used for that, which is unfortunate.
Again...
Oh, go ahead. Well, okay, what I was going to say was that I'm hoping that bombs in general are better implemented, cluster bombs and the such. They're just better done. My hope, anyway.
Well, yeah, that'd be nice.
I think with the whole, like, oh, it's not being, like, used properly thing, it's kind of like, if you kind of look how, like, PR has been marketed, right, and how Squad is kind of being marketed, it's kind of play how you want to play, right? You know, even if it's on the same map, you're the same faction, you're using the same assets, everything, you know, you're still not going to play the same way. And that's one of the great things about it, right?
Right.
But then, like, and of course, you know, you might have the guy that, tries to use, the A-10 to strike enemy infantry that's being called out, or you might have the, he's only trying to go for the tanks and APCs that he can see, right? So I think that's just kind of a, I don't think you can really change that in, like, game mechanics. Of course, you can make them more effective, which is, great and all, but I don't think, that doesn't mean they're still going to use them, right? I think that's more of a player-by-player thing.
Right. Yeah. See,
I would like to see a better implementation of, like, fragmentation and shrapnel, like a true fragmentation system.
Yeah.
Instead of just explosion.
Its job.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, and they've got the what's it called? Like the artwork and the animations and effects particles and shit down, because the explosions, even in the mod, for being how old this game engine is like they're like the most realistic explosions I've seen in a game to date. At least, in my opinion, they are. They look extremely well done for a game this old.
That's after years of tweaking and experience.
Yeah, but they're running Unreal Engine 4 now, so it's, they can do that. And I know that the particles in that game are insanely good too, but they can also do more shit. Like, they were talking about how many more trees they can add with Unreal Engine as opposed to
and we could
the refractor
see
engine.
Some real jungle environments.
Yes, it'd be nice.
Hopefully.
Wouldn't that be amazing if they actually remade the Vietnam part of PR in that, and it was true jungle?
Hell, even some of the bigger maps, that'd be nice too.
It would be an absolute bitch to play in, but it would still be cool.
On a slightly different topic, with the new engine, what I really want to see is true urban maps.
Yeah.
So with PR, kind of the way the whole Battlefield 2 engine works, there's a limited number of buildings that you can have on a single map.
Yeah, they keep repeating too. You see the same building several times over.
Yeah, and they all like use like kind of base buildings, so there's like a total of probably like 10 different buildings actually in PR.
Yeah.
And they just kind of morph them together and
and they got creative. They did a good job, but now they need more.
Oh yeah,
they always need more. It's a curse of the.
I would really like to see like truly enterable buildings. Like there's not a whole lot. Yeah, like essentially in PR right now, it's like the T building wars, like for all you that don't know, there's a building that's shaped as like a T, and it's
freaking T building on Mutra.
Yeah, there's like 32 buildings on Mutra, and you have just squads firing back and forth.
Yeah,
but you know which T building I'm talking about, the one that always has a squad in it, in one way or another.
The double T, like right next to each other up in like
the one that has the sheet metal fence around it that there's always a lot of stuff in the bottom of.
Right.
Well, actually, real quick, speaking of buildings, I really want to see full destruction physics on buildings. I'm talking like geomod level, if possible.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Well, let's talk about bullet physics one more time, and shrapnel, since we got to talk about that. I'd really like to see, let's see, the best way I can explain how a bullet works, especially in terms of hunting. I use, like, ballistic tipped 30-06 rounds when I hunt. And for the most part, bullets, even when they hit soft targets like skin, bone, flesh, you know, whatever, they tend to disperse. Like, they break up. Any bullet will break up when it hits something. It doesn't normally stay solid based on what you're using. And what I'd really like to see implemented is, you know, what kind of like you have in stuff like wooden walls and whatnot in, say, games like COD or Battlefield, where you can shoot through certain things. Like, say, you know how, I guess, like, with especially the bigger open maps where Blue 4 and whatnot, and everybody will be hiding behind the dirt walls and shit that they have over in the Middle East and stuff. Like, say, when a bullet hits that, it breaks up, or when a grenade explodes next to that, it breaks up, it goes through that wall. So, like, when the bullet hits that wall, it kind of shatters and hits things behind it. That'd be really nice, and I think that'd be a great addition to the game if they're shooting for realism.
Yeah, like true, fully realistic bullet physics. But of course, like with that, there's a lot of different countries that use armor-piercing rounds that are designed not to break up. I mean, they can, of course, especially if they hit something hard or, you know. But like, you know, the U.S. military uses a steel-tipped armor-piercing round. That's a standard issue round that, you know, that'll go straight through a enemy target. It won't like break up or anything. If you hit a flesh target, that's going to go straight through that guy.
Right. Yeah, but as a whole, you don't generally see that. They don't generally use that. Like, your standard issue shit is generally basic rounds.
But we're talking about military here, not civilian life. Yeah, civilian life, you can get hollow points, you can get, you know, match grade, you can get, you know, ballistic, you know, your hunting tips and stuff, you know, the ones designed for, you know, taking down a guy. While a lot of the times, you know, military, they use, you know, armor-piercing rounds and special rounds like that that are designed to, you know, punch through a guy, punch through their armor, punch through walls, etc. like that. Now, I do like your idea, and I like, you know, of course, and that you could definitely do that. But, like, I think some, you know, of course, they need to make it where some bullets do that, some bullets don't, of course.
Right, yeah.
I just had a thought occur to me. And I don't even know if this is possible in the Unreal 4 engine. I hope it is. I assume it is because the engine is so recent. I want to see actual engineering vehicles. I'm talking like combat engineer vehicles that can actually plow up defense embankments. You know, like dirt embankments for vehicles to hide behind. You know, actually dig holes in the ground for tanks to go haul down in. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, well, I know that the emplacements that they've implemented so far are pretty decent, from what I've seen.
I'm talking about like deformable terrain, though, like actually being able to deform the terrain anywhere you want to.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Like setting down explosives and creating a trench line or something.
Yeah, but I don't even know if it's possible. I would hope it is.
It is. They did it in Battlefield 3, actually. You could put C4 down in specific, well, like soft ground and make decent enough holes.
Frostbite engine. We're talking about Unreal Engine here.
Well, okay, so the issue I see with deformable terrain is that you can't really make it authentic, right? And when you can't make it authentic, it kind of seems gimmicky. Right. So, like in real life, yeah, you might have this, you know, giant-ass backhoe that you use to, you know, make a kind of a makeshift trench. You put a giant wall of dirt, you know, that can catch bullets and catch fragmentation and everything. And then you have, you know, guys go behind it and, you know, dig out a trench. It's not like that takes a minute of your time. No, like that takes days to make, you know, in any type of realistic, you know, application. So like if you try to make that, you know, a 5-minute process in a game, it just doesn't feel right. So
exactly,
like,
yeah.
it would be awesome if they could do it, and I bet they could if they, you know, they tweaked with it a little bit with, you know, a lot of testing and all that.
They could probably even make it look good.
But
probably, I mean, it's
I
unreal.
just think it'd probably be gimmicky, I guess. I don't know if that's a word for it, but that's my issue with it. Like, I don't know. With with the assets though, like you could still have it kind of a PR style, where say, hey, you could, you know, deploy this foxhole here, and it would actually, you know, dig, you know, a hole into the terrain. Like in PR right now, you know, it has a hole outside of the terrain. You know, it kind of creates a kind of like just a wall of sand and sandbags. You know, I'm sure with Unreal they could actually create a hole into the terrain, and you know, it'd stay there and everything. That'd be awesome. I think that would be the way to do it. But like on with the engineering vehicles.
Yeah, that could work.
I'm talking about engineering vehicles, like actually being able to, since vehicles will have modular damage, I'm getting this image in my head of an Abrams that had its engine completely pulverized by like a T-72 or something, but it's managed to kill the T-72, but it's dead in the water. I'm seeing an engineering vehicle actually towing that thing back to base where it gets fixed up.
I think that would be a great addition, right? So in PR
and I'm
right
talking
now,
like actual tow cables.
Yes. In PR right now, you essentially have the logistics trucks, right?
Yep.
And those have, you know, little mobile repair stations.
Alright guys, so the round ended, and BK was right in the middle of his discussions. I don't remember what we were talking about, but just got one more topic to talk about before we end the video. I just wanted to see what everybody's opinion was on night maps and how they will implement nods and
please God, night maps. Flashlights.
And suppressors, lasers, flashlights, night vision, anything like that. So, what's you guys' opinion on that? Because I know they're doing night maps.
Night maps. It can be implemented well. It can be. I want it to be.
PR did not implement those well.
But will they?
Well, PR was running off of limitations.
Yeah, exactly.
There was night vision in Battlefield 2, and the Special Forces Edition.
But also, originally with the mod, with like the original night maps, they tried to do things like weapon flashes, you know, and it would crash the game. Just you know, because it's so wonky.
But now,
so with Unreal Engine and everything, they could do a pitch black like night map, right? They don't need to, but they could.
Wouldn't that be amazing if you had an armored battle in that kind of environment? Tank gun flashes everywhere.
Yeah. So, what I want to make like a night map successful, there needs to be like weapon flashlights. Of course, that comes down with like modern weapon customization. You know, things like laser sights and flashlights.
Yart.
Night vision goggles for, of course, like first world countries. You know, USA. Russia,
thermals.
China, thermals, you know, of course, for armored vehicles, and I think like thermal optics for, like, they do have them, but I don't really want that personally. Just my kind of idea on that. But like things like flashlights and laser sights, night vision goggles, of course, like even handheld flashlights for, say, the insurgents. You know, they're not gonna have
cool.
Yeah,
or like duct-taped flashlights.
Yeah, duct-taped into their AK, right? You know, that'd be cool. You know,
all I know though,
sometimes.
All I know though is the fact that if you played Insurgency and played their night maps, they just run so bad because of all the effects and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know Unreal Engine is a lot different from Source Engine. So.
Yeah. What also, like, if
Source Engine never handled night maps very well.
No.
If you've ever, like, say, shot a gun in darkness, or seen a gun shot in darkness on, like, a video, muzzle flashes are very, very prevalent. They give away your position. They can often blind you, like, you know, temporarily blind you.
Yep. Which means playing as Insurgent during the night would be very difficult.
Yeah, but, like, also, like, with that, night vision goggles, like, if you get a sudden flash of light, you know, not potentially like your flash from your rifle, but say like a flashbang or an explosion going off next to you, or all of a sudden like you walk into a room that has, you know, the lights on, right? You're gonna have a bad time in those night vision goggles. You know, you're gonna have to either take those off real quick, or you're gonna be temporarily blinded. Like that type of stuff, I would like to see. You know, illumination rounds for your mortars and 40 mil grenade launchers. You know, they already have that type of stuff in PR.
But they're awful.
Yeah, they're not. They don't really work well.
Yeah.
But for illumination rounds, that'd be awesome. Well, of course, flashbang grenades. That's what I want.
Flashbangs would be
flashbangs
brutal.
would be cool, especially if they do urban maps as well.
Yes, flashbangs.
Right. Well, I think now's a good time to
be useful.
Alright, well, I think now's a good time to end the video. Remember, guys, to like, comment, and share the video if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for some squad content within the coming days and weeks. And thank you to BK, our great server admin for FCV, and Aurora for helping me out with the video, and I will see you guys at a later date. Peace out.